Hey everyone, it's KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. The Red Meat Road Trip. Tyler Cavalli, Jacob Roth along with you. We are in the northern half of Nebraska in O'Neill as our trek brings us here to the Shamrock Locker. We're excited about this one. And of course, powering the Red Meat Road Trip is the great sponsors, Nebraska Beef Council, the Nebraska Cattlemen, obviously Cross Diamond Cattle and Cross Diamond Meats in Bertrand as well, for powering KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. We are obviously a long ways away from home, but nonetheless, we're excited to learn about Nebraska beef in O'Neill.
No, and obviously, I don't even know if we needed to say O'Neill. It's the Shamrock Locker. There's not really a name more fitting for the community of O'Neill than that. It was fun to kind of drive through town and see everything. Great drive. A lot of windshield time on this trip, this leg of the Red Meat Road Trip, but beautiful facility looking on the outside, and excited to go in and kind of learn a little bit more about what they're doing here at Shamrock Locker.
All right, so let's learn more. Shamrock Locker here in O'Neill. All right, we are in O'Neill here at Shamrock Meats as we are talking to Garrett and Cody Kerwin. Cody Kerwin is the owner. Garrett, his son, is the manager. Of course, one of the stops here in the Nebraska Beef Passport Program. Let's start with you, Cody, and let's talk about the business here at Shamrock Meats and talk about how kind of it all got started many years ago.
Well, we've just been open here, I'd say, for around 17, 18 months. It started out as I just bought a lot here that needed a lot of work on it. It had an abandoned building on it, and we didn't know what we were going to do because my background is construction and my son's is welding. So we actually, the whole go after the meat business was because of a family relative that's also has interest in this, and he has a locker up in South Dakota. So he's the one that recommended doing maybe a meat locker here in O'Neill because it's in the heart of cattle country, and they haven't had one for 40 years, so we said, why not? Let's try it. I was getting tired of construction, so I was ready for something different.
So how has that gone for you in 17, 18 months now, and what have you learned so much?
Well, at first it was like a fire hydrant to the throat, a lot coming at us. But it's like anything, you figure it out as you go, and you just try to get better every day at it. And it's like any business. You just want to outwork the ones around you and strive to be better than everybody else and just offer something that's needed, So.
And Garrett, for you, helping out manager-wise with the, again, totally new business, a beautiful location here, what have you kind of seen in terms of growth-wise?
Every day is something new. Growth-wise, I mean, we're taking on as much as we can, and it's been a learning experience the whole time. Growth-wise, I mean, every day I feel like we're growing and getting better, so it's been just a learning experience.
So when you guys started, is it primarily local Nebraska beef? What was the kind of thought process when you started getting going?
Well, when we first started, we were just thinking taking care of the local customers with retail exempt processing. And then we realized, going after that USDA would be a huge ticket, another avenue to offer, and I think that is more important than anything right now. Just with the crazy markets with cattle, we can educate folks on why hamburgers $7, $8 a pound. Record highs today on fat butcher cattle brought 198 hundredweight. So I mean, you're talking $3,000 for a butcher cow. It's ridiculous, but it's just where we're at, and it's just educating folks on you got to pay for good quality beef, and at least we can offer both. We got product off the truck, and then we also offer, we buy, beef from Hope County, Boyd County, Rock County, handful of guys that raise very good quality cattle, and we purchase them, or they can run them through with us also.
So kind of looking at that side, you talked about starting initially as just kind of the custom processing. How quick did that USDA kind of process get started, and what does it kind of look like now?
Well, we had the right people hired to push after it. We were so busy building this, me and him were a big part of the construction part of it. Like I said, welder by trade, carpenter by trade. That's what made it feasible. We have a lot of sweat equity in this thing, and it's the only way we could actually, make it feasible. So we had to hire some people at the university to get after it for us, because people were saying it'll take you 2 years to get. Well, that's a challenge, and we did it in less than 6 months. So it's one of those deals you got to spend the money and know who to go after. So.
And what are kind of some of the things that, if you said that you've got a couple producers in the area, and you kind of explained before we started recording, the labels in the cabinets behind us kind of mean something. What does that look like?
Okay, so it's just we got some nice Wagyu cross beef coming in from a couple people local, and we put pink labels here behind us in front of that product, yellow labels on the local beef, and then the white labels. Of course, we buy some primal cuts off the cashway truck to do our sticks and jerky. We do local jerky and sticks also though, but we make sure we label it correctly as we do that. We are pushing to try to do more local, but it's difficult with the cost. And I want people to question, this is one thing I want to get out there, is I want people to question. At first we were buying burger off the truck. How can they sell it for $3 a pound? You know what I mean? When we're spending $3,000 for a butcher cow and it hangs 800 pounds and we end up with 420 pounds of burger. It doesn't math out. So I wonder what's in it. Here you know exactly what's in it. It all comes off one hoof. And that's why, I can break it down to the penny to show what it cost us, what we're making, and, just the whole breakdown. I think it's just about educating people on, you pay for quality.
In a community obviously kind of in beef country in Nebraska, there's a lot of it's kind of crazy to think that this community didn't have a locker at their disposal. What have you seen from the community in terms of support? And either of you guys can field this question in terms of, it's got to be nice for the folks in town to know where they can get their beef from.
They've been really supportive. They come back and they tell us it's a night and day difference from what they've had in the past versus what they've had off like a local beef. And we can tell them exactly where it came from and how it was raised out. They said taste and quality is just better, and then they're just a reoccurring customer. And they tell us every time they're happy we're here. It's just a lot of support from the community.
And also I understand why there hasn't been one for a while. It's hard work, and it's a lot of hours. And so, when I said I was going to get out of construction to go after this to save my body a little bit, it's a young man's game.
Didn't get easier.
It didn't get easier, but we like challenges. I mean, it is what it is. It's work.
We're talking to Garrett and Cody Kerwin, who are, again, the owner and managers of Shamrock Locker here in O'Neill. Again, one of the stops of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program and part of KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. You guys briefly talked about with the Wagyu cross. We haven't really mentioned that or talked with other lockers so far about that. And so that's kind of a unique aspect and something that is not casually something that people can buy in other lockers. Talk about that.
It's definitely better quality beef. It's night and day difference from a lot of stuff we've had come through here. It's going to be more expensive, but the taste explains that. So it's just another thing where we have local ranchers raising it, and we want to get it in here and sell it out our front.
It's different, I guess. I wouldn't say better quality. We've got some great quality. We even got some grass-fed beef that come in here that are decent, but it's just it's another option. That's what I would say. I guess it's not like better quality. It's just they take longer to finish. I understand that's why they cost more, and it's just another option, I guess.
And does it change the process for you guys a lot, or is it just once it gets in here, it's just keep track of which one's the Wagyu cross? And is the process similar, or does it change up a whole lot?
Same process, I'd say, as any other beef coming through here.
Yeah, there's nothing any different. It's just like I said, an option. Yeah.
Obviously, with this being the Nebraska Beef Passport Program, we're highlighting beef, but what about other things that you guys offer as well in terms of animals that you guys are taking in yourself or that you may sell here at your storefront?
We're just doing inspected beef for now. We do sell pork products, but we get all that off the truck. But we have our own ingredients and stuff. We add to all that. But just strictly for inspected stuff, it's just beef.
In terms of the inspection, what has that process been like for you guys, and obviously the importance of that?
Well, we're very fortunate. We have a great inspector on site. He's on site here Wednesdays, Thursdays. We usually slaughter hogs on Monday, and then we do custom beef on Tuesday, and then we have him scheduled here Wednesday, Thursday. So it's just kind of a mix, how we fill our calendar. So.
All right. You were talking about, obviously, this is kind of a newer place and getting jumping head in. What in terms of setting things up, did you seek outside help? I mean, in terms of knowing what equipment that you need, how did that process go?
Well, like I said, it goes back to a family relative that has a locker up in South Dakota who's got some interest in this, and he's the one that really showed us basically how to get up and running with what equipment to go after and that kind of thing. So from there, then we visited a handful of lockers, me and Garrett, and you just pick them apart and ask them, ask the questions, what would you do different, and then we just tried to go from there, so we wanted room to grow, though. That's the main thing.
And Garrett, in terms of what you guys have coming in or scheduling out, what kind of schedule does that look like, and how many head are you kind of processing here?
We're trying to do about 15 a week, I think, is about what we're trying to do. Scheduling wise, it's kind of slowed up a little bit because, like he mentioned earlier, beef prices are getting a little high, but we're still getting pretty consistent with custom and federal inspected and retail wise. So.
No, definitely that price component is something that we've heard at every locker we've gone to, that it's just a little bit harder to keep your retail side full just because of the way that buying a whole carcass is not as easy just because of how things are going. Have you guys seen a growth even recently? I mean, obviously you guys are newer, but prices have gone up quite a bit since you've started. Have you seen a growth in the interest in the retail side as opposed to the big custom side?
Definitely. We get more and more every week. You got more walkthroughs coming in just to buy $100, $150 worth of product, or even $30. That's why we're trying to also offer some small meat bundle packages. So we've got a flyer that shows anywhere from $200 to $500 bundles of a variety of product, and then we've also dabbled in shipping. So we've shipped to South Carolina, Florida, just to test the waters and see how many days it can be in the air and make it. And so far, great success with shipping also. So.
Yeah, that's something that we haven't heard a lot of other lockers are doing, is the shipping aspect of it, so that's unique.
And the USDA component is the only thing that kind of makes that possible to let it jump across those state lines.
Yep, so 100%. And I think a lot of it is just because there's a lot of folks with family that are out of state, and they come up here for celebrations, Summerfest, St. Patty's Day, and they get a sample of it and go, how do we get this where we're at? Well, we'll ship it to you. It's not that bad, so.
Garrett, talk about why you guys decided to be a part of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program.
Someone reached out to my mom about it, and we thought, it's a good idea to get people in the door, and it has been. So it's been an experience.
We obviously are, again, Red Meat Road Trip is kind of our nickname as well for this. So we've been trying different meats, not only for us, for KRVN, but for those that are coming in, future visitors. What is something that somebody should try here, especially when they walk in the door?
Try the local beef. Try to get some Nebraska beef. That's what I would recommend. Otherwise, we got a good variety of brats that I really like personally, and then our jerky and sticks. It's all good stuff. I recommend it all.
And again, the one thing too is it's all labeled as you can tell what is local and everything like that.
Yep. Everything's labeled as local and what's off of the trucks. So.
Very good. All right, as we wrap things up, talk about again your hours. If people can bring their animal here as well, how can they get a hold of you and all that kind of great information?
Well, we try to keep the phone number simple. It's 402-336-BEEF, 2333. It's easy to remember. Another thing is we've been pretty open doors to emergency beef. We just had one this afternoon, late call, broken leg. It happens. If it can get off the truck, we can take it, and we're pretty open to do it. So what else was there? What else you asked me? I forgot already.
Those are just the great just information and getting hold of you. I imagine people can stop by as well.
Oh, yeah, and our hours are Monday through Saturday. What are we?
9 to 6 during the week. 9 to 6 during the week. We're open 9 to 4 on Saturday.
All right, very good. Well, that is Garrett and Cody Kerwin, who are the owners and manager of Shamrock Locker here in O'Neill, all part of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program. All right, we're wrapping things up here in O'Neill at the Shamrock Locker. Tyler Cavalli, Jacob Roth, along with you here of KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. All right, this place was beautiful, magnificent, very young, infancy place compared to other places we've been. With 17 months in existence, they have things going well.
No, it's kind of like when you think about it and we're going through all the things and all the little things that they thought of when they were putting it together. It's almost like the younger sibling doesn't get in trouble because they see the mistakes of the older siblings. They're able to kind of build on that and capitalize, and beautiful facilities going in. I mean, when it's 18 months old, you expect it to be just what it looked like. It was as advertised. It was really nice. Lots of cool story, history of the building.
Yep.
The pillars that are kind of standing in front of the building, part of the original lot that stood here.
Yep.
Just a lot of cool history, and they're doing a lot of cool things here at Shamrock Locker.
Well, with the dad being obviously in construction, and with the son obviously doing welding, as you are going to watch the video, or if you have watched the video already, you've already seen or will see, this is all done handmade, and which is really incredible. In particular, when you see the chutes, when you see the alleyways, I should say the alleyways in particular, it's all done by Garrett. He welded it all together himself. And that's such a unique thing because you don't see that, obviously, but the handmade aspect is really cool.
No, really cool. It's nice to have a welder on retainer, I guess, when it comes to building stuff like that. But really, really cool facility, and they're just getting started, which I think is the most exciting spot. Is sky's the limit for a place like this. They're in a community that didn't have a locker for a long time, and as we heard from them, it's because it's a lot of work, but it's primed, it's ready to go, and the facility is just beautiful.
It really is. Obviously, Nebraska beef is the mainstay that they have going on right here. They do it from several surrounding counties that bring here to O'Neill, and they have had such a great response.
No, and that's one of the things I thought was also really cool that they highlighted was the support from the community has been big for them, and obviously that's just what makes small businesses go around, is folks supporting their local areas.
So again, make sure you stop by here at Shamrock Locker in O'Neill as part of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program, and of course KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska, thanks to our great sponsors, Cross Diamond Meats, Cross Diamond Cattle in Bertrand, the Nebraska Cattlemen, and of course the Nebraska Beef Council, powering the Red Meat Road Trip. For Jacob Roth and Tyler Cavalli, for KRVN's Sizzling across Nebraska.